I'd just like to spend a few moments talking about these starting point assessment booklets. When Linda and I designed them, we felt that teachers needed something to use in the first few weeks of school just to work out where kids were at and how they'd done the year before. So for example, this Year 5 booklet really looks at all the mathematics from Year 4. So the idea is that you would do this during the first couple of weeks of school and just work out where there are any gaps. But we've noticed that teachers now, if a new student comes to the school, they might give them that booklet to work through. Some teachers give them the booklet at the start of the year and then again at the end of the year just to look at some progress. So I'd like to have a bit of a look inside to some of the points we had in mind when we developed these booklets. So where possible, for example in the addition and subtraction questions, we've tried to make some links. So question 10 here is 6 and 7, and question 7 here is 13 take 7, and question 6 is 13 take 6. You can see how those questions are linked. So you may be able to use it to diagnose whether children understand the addition fact but not the related subtraction fact. Likewise, these extended versions link to the original versions, and where possible the word problems that we have here try to link across. So for example, if a child can do 9 take 3 but they can't use the word subtract, you may find out that on the right hand side they can't do the same question because of the language. And so we tried to follow that through there. You have a look there, it's the same for multiplication and division. So there's words like product, groups of, lots of, and so forth. I'm just going to have now a look at a bit at the teacher's guide so you can see what's in there that's a little bit different to what's in the student booklet. Just like to share a few points from the teacher's guide. So we'll just look at the Year 5 section of the guide. We put in here some examples of what we think might help if you find children have got difficulties in certain areas. So we put some of that in. You notice on the next page and so forth, there's all the answers, for example, to the questions as well. But sitting here are the problems. Now we think that children need to do some problem solving. It's a little hard to do in that booklet. So what we've done is put in a sample problem and then we put a parallel problem that you would use later in the term or later in the year so you can compare how children did at the start of the year and later on. Not only that, if you look through here a little bit further, and once again there's all the answers, but we've also put in here an observational checklist for measurement because we think you really need to watch children measure, and so that's our observational checklist for that. There is a review section so you can just sort of roughly work out where your children are at. And finally there are some references and links. So for example, your children had some trouble with some of the measurement and geometry. Here are the relevant pages from this book, Measurement and Geometry. Likewise, if you go back here, if you were doing the number work, we've got here some more explanation about the number, and then if you needed more help with that, you could go to the Maths Basic Facts CDs at the RIC cell.